Hey, I'm Big B and I Brick. Welcome to another edition of the Seller Stream. With me this week, I have Foo Bricks,
How's it going?
and also first time on the stream, Cold Water Bricks.
Hello there.
You can go ahead and Cold Water, if you want to tell the world a little bit about yourself or whatever, make your introduction to the stream, see how they receive you.
Okay. I run a little store in Anniston, Alabama. Have about 160, 170,000 parts, and been in business about a year now.
What else do you do as far as Lego?
That's about it. I used to sell quite a bit on Amazon, but I've kind of backed off of that. Mainly, I just run my Bricklink store, and that's it.
So you're grandfathered into Amazon as well?
Yes, I am. I sold on Amazon about 5 years.
You guys both suck. If I had Amazon, my wife would be such a happy woman because like the aisle down this way that I've shown every once in a while little snippets of would, they'd be gone. I'd have access to boxes.
I actually got started with Bricklink because of Amazon. I received a lot of returns, and when you receive a couple of helicarriers and tumblers back as returns, you start wondering, what am I going to do with these? And that's the reason why I opened up a Bricklink store.
Okay.
And it gradually just kind of consumed me.
So when you got those sets of that type back, I mean, what repercussions did the recipient do to them? I've heard all sorts of horror stories of returned sets as far as, coming back, missing this, missing that.
Well, a lot of them, they just, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to walk over you. A lot of them, they just open them up, find that they're too hard to work with, and put them back and send them back. I didn't have too many that they stole pieces out of, although I know a lot of people that have had that problem.
Yeah. I've actually had that problem as a recipient. Receiving sets from Amazon, specifically off of my little section that I love, the warehouse section, and it's showing up missing, like an architecture set missing all of the large plates that go in it, whether they be the 8x16 or the 2x16s, or like, this bag, it's opened up in there and just it's all in one large Ziploc bag. So I've seen the other side of it too. And I also know a lot of people that when they get stuff like that from Amazon or from any of the bigger stores, they put their own tax on it before they return it. I've gotten a lot of stuff off Warehouse that was all the bags were opened and the minifigures were completely missing from the entire set.
Amazon does have a very liberal return policy. I'll just say that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it sort of sucks when, they don't look if the entire thing is included and put it back up for sale. But that's why you get, a percentage off a set. Taking that chance.
Yes.
So we've got Xfinity 2-1 in the chat right now. And I really want to get him in the room tonight. I know that he doesn't really come into here and it's late night and all that stuff over in the UK where he is. But he took the chance this week on Bricklink and went forward with the marketplace thing with PayPal that was supposed to be enforced next month. And then I started seeing posts on the forum about how he had reports from his customers that they had no way at all to make a purchase, not even to purchase without paying. So love to see if we can get him in here to talk about that and hear his woes. Do any of your guys keep up with the forum at all on Bricklink?
I haven't looked in a few days, but I was going to say with the returns from Amazon, you're pretty lucky, Coldwater. I've had several come back with the figs missing. and I ended up having to part them out. So Bricklink Store is kind of an extension of my Amazon as well. But yeah, I know what you mean. The returns are killer sometimes. So
I'm gonna try this right here.
it is a cost of doing business, but it's worth it overall.
Yes.
All right, hold on for 1 second here. Got somebody else I'm trying to get into the room as well, and he actually is a buddy of mine and has helped me out with a lot of stuff as far as learning along the years. And he is very wise for his age, I will say. I like to follow his stuff because I'm always a fan of when I'll call them newly minted AFOLs. I have been doing it for years on Bricklink and are incredibly good at it and incredibly good at finding deals. And he basically taught me Kmart and Sears with their rebate system, and he's an absolute master with them. Like, not even the ones that are closing down, just like regular Kmart. So we can figure out how to get him in here. I will do that. Do you guys mind talking for a minute while I try to see if I can figure this out?
Sure.
Sure, no problem.
Keep talking about Amazon and some of the crappy stuff.
Folks out there in the chat, feel free to fire questions while we're talking. So, Coldwater, when's the last time you actually sold Lego on Amazon?
Well, I still sell. As a matter of fact, I just sent a large shipment this past week, but nothing like I used to. It used to be my main income.
Yeah.
It's just I slacked way off. I got a little disenchanted with the fees and with a lot of returns, and it just got to the point where it wasn't me anymore. Plus, I've got bad trouble with arthritis in my knee, and it got to the point where it was getting to be a real hassle to lift the heavy boxes and things on the large shipments. And I put a lot of effort in the last year into the Bricklink store, and that was just taking up a lot of my time. But now I'm starting to look more at selling again at Amazon. Kind of my my MO on selling is to buy things on clearance, like like a lot of dealers.
Yeah, a lot of us do that.
I don't do quick flips. I hold and let things, like wine, I kind of like to let them age, which a lot of people used to do and then became disenchanted with it. But I've, as always, just been my MO is hold on to things and let things age and then sell.
I'm like you a lot as far as that goes with sets, but there is a beautiful thing to be said for someone that is able to take a picture of something in a store, not purchase it, post it for sale, and then go buy it as they're headed out of the store because it was purchased while they were just shopping.
That is true.
There's something to be said about that. That's basically an effortless.
I have done quick flips before, but that race to the bottom will kill you.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we have a question from Flash Pants. I was checking out the other day, and my basket next to a couple of the items, there was a lightning bolt with a line through it, the not symbol. What does that mean? It means that item is precluding you from doing an instant checkout, and you would have to remove those items from your cart in order to do that. I'm 100% certain that the seller does not want you to do that, and there's a specific reason why those have a lightning bolt with the cross through it. On mine, it's because they're too large to ship safely, I will say, in a standard padded envelope. Items that would require a box in order to protect them. A lot of times for me, it's because it's larger than a 16 by 24 base plate. And I have to add 8 ounces to the total of the order in order to process it properly, and I'm not able to add 8 ounces to an order based upon a specific group, meaning that in order for me to have instant checkout on there, I would have to have it include any items that came out of the base plates category, not base plates raised, but base plates and base plates road. That came out of there, then add 8 ounces to the order and check it out with instant. But I can't do that.
Yeah, the Viking Splendor has a great point. I like to let it say it's age 2, but at the same time, I need parts to sell to buy more. Yeah, so I'm kind of middle of the road. I'm selectively aging sets, and others I'm parting out right away or flipping on Amazon. It just depends on what I get, how many, and what the part out value is. But I go either way depending on situation. I think Coldwater kind of does the same. He probably sends in things that are better off on Amazon than they are parting out. That'd be my guess. But he can speak to his strategy more than I can.
I'm about the same.
So,
About the same.
speaking of sitting on sets for a long time, so the set I'm going to be talking about is set 7097. So everybody has an opportunity to go look that up. It's a fairly iconic set, I think, if you're into that genre. Comes with a lot of really, really great minifigures. In fact, it's a minifigure factory. And I know of a seller that has these, cannot sell them, and is currently parting out 50 copies of it.
Wow.
So,
It's a good set.
yeah, it's a great set.
50 copies, dang.
50 copies, and that's just because they were sitting in their warehouse. You know,
I want his problem.
He had picked them up years ago from his supplier, and I was just told him the same thing. I was like, dude, you would have no problem with those over here. You know, the newly minted AFOL market would gobble those up, because if you're into that theme, that's like a must-have set. You know, you got to have bragging rights that I have that. So
That's a pretty big part out too.
yeah. And they were really, really, really trying to talk me into not checking out, so I could wait for that part out to be completed of theirs, because he knows that there's pieces in there that I want. So, other crazy things that happened this week. I was charged VAT by a seller, and they were emphatically trying to enforce that I owed VAT as a non-EU buyer and shipping to a non-EU country. I did not.
I would say that's not true.
What's that? That I owed it, or?
Yeah, you don't owe it because you're not a EU citizen.
I'm exempt from it. Everybody owes it unless you're exempt.
Right.
You know, if you're exempt, it's very easy to prove, because if you're paying with PayPal or Stripe or any other agency, it has a shipping address included in there. So if an audit ever happens on the seller, they're already covered, because they have monetary transaction that includes a shipping address out of the EU. And then they had said that I would have to. Well, first my order was around it was around $150, and then all of a sudden, once they instilled all of their stuff, including the 5% PayPal tax, it was now a $250 order. And they just said, well, if you buy more than 5,000 Czech kroner or coins or something,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Their currency.
We'll waive it. And that to me it felt like a fishing adventure on that time. You know, that buy more and we'll do this for you, what we're supposed to do already anyways, for free, legally, by law. So I pressed, and I posted a comment in the forum and just asked, you know, U.S. seller being asked to pay VAT. And there was a discussion primarily amongst European sellers, about how the Czech Republic was notorious for attempting to charge VAT on non-EU residents. And there was quite a few of the very large buyers on Bricklink as well, talking about how they no longer even shop in the Czech Republic because of that. Ultimately, I pressed. They told me that if I paid 450 Czech coins, that they would file the paperwork for me without meeting the mark, and then I blasted back that it was a requirement by law, blah, 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 that they do this. Here's a link to a form that's free. It is uniform for all EU countries, including the United States, or as well as the United States, blah, 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 that they're required by law, that they're not supposed to, and then, I finished it with, please set my order back to what it was without that being included, and then we'll discuss me purchasing more.
For reference, for those out in our audience, $1 US is around 21 Czech koruna.
Corona, that's it.
Yeah. I just looked it up, so.
Should be Czech Budvar.
Which is
That's
also
odd. I haven't ordered in a while from anybody in Czech Republic, but I've never had that trouble. I hate to hear that they're going to that.
Well, I'm not going to say it's shady, but it seems to be, it is, in my concern, or in my opinion, it's bad business practice. I'm never a proponent of throwing an extra percentage tax on the end of it. Like I loathe the people that kind of do that. I do inform them of the new PayPal seller policies, which says that if they're in an EU country or any place in the world now, if they do not charge a fee for another transaction, then they can't charge a fee for PayPal. But in other countries, it's just still allowed. Other places, it reads that it's allowed by written consent. And when I check with PayPal, it's meant for charities, not for just, Joe Schmo because he doesn't want to pay his fair way for using the service.
Yep. Just sounds like a smash and grab on some extra money to me. But since I'm curious, I want to convert your 500 that you were quoted, which is 24 US dollars.
Yeah, it's like $24 for me to not have. It was $24 for me to not have to pay $75.
Like, no, I'm not going to pay either.
Yeah, I'm not going to do either one. But here's what I will do.
That sounds like when I was in Thailand and I saw a guy trying to get a traffic ticket. He was riding a motorcycle without a helmet. So he just pulled money out of his wallet, handed it to the cop, and left. And it was half what the fine would have been if he went to the police station. Funny how that works.
Here you go.
You just make this go away now.
But yeah, and it was. I mean, it was. I knew what it was. I don't want to get on the guy's bad side because I mean, it's a business transaction for me. They had stuff I wanted because there's people in the world want it. Or it's just weird, and I wanted it. But I had ordered from them before, and my order previously was for like 8 times that amount. Hopefully they checked that as well. I did say to them, thanks for fixing this and changing it back. I look forward to doing business with you in the near future. But it's pretty shady because the reporting from the other people that were commenting on Bricklink was that all of the large superstores in the Czech Republic are doing this and have that like 5,000 koruna limit. So if you clear 5,000 koruna, which is around $250, they won't ask you to file a further fee. And half the reasoning behind it is because Czech Post does not offer those forms until you hit that limit. And they don't have a good shipping solution outside of that. So it's extra work on them, and they don't want to do that extra work. So you're paying a $25 fee for them to do that extra bit.
All right. Well, do you want to cover
of check coming Clickets or the Clickets market? No, I haven't actually gone there yet for the Clickets. This was something entirely different. I had a large order go out that I had to replace what it was into the store immediately to keep that leg that I'm testing going without saying too much.
You mentioned earlier we want to go over my part variation from the pick-a-brick that I found.
Please, I'll put you on the big, and you can share yours. I found that if you do the share window and monitor your window safely, so that the only thing you have popped up on your screen is what you want to show off, that secondary window will come up.
Yep, I will. I'll get everything set up just shortly here. I need a few tabs in this window. So 3 different variations of the part we were talking about earlier. A, B, and not. So I got pick-a-brick here in Malaysia. A little bit more expensive than home. $25 for a large cup versus $15 in the US. Or I believe it's $16. But it was still worth it in this particular case. And let me get to share my browser real quick. There it is. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Select your color.
Yep, this one doesn't have the color. I was waiting on it to load. I was trying to multitask here. I got this in yellow, but it's not in the groove. This is the groove one. This is the one you find in all the sets today. I'm guessing they put the groove on it as it's easier to remove later because you obviously want to remove parts and don't have to use a brick separator on these things, which isn't the funnest thing to do. What I actually got, of course, there's no image, is without groove. And as you can see, the price on it is 7.7 cents average sold. None new have sold in the last 6 months. So as Big B and I were talking about, maybe I should list it as undetermined, which again has the correct photo with no groove on it. And it has sold, but at a much lower price. It's based on the pricing in the United States. I could get almost twice as much as 6 cents for the undetermined type, but it hasn't sold. So we were discussing which way to go. I think Big B was right when he told me I should split it as the undetermined type and the correct part and then see what sells.
If Bricklink is still allowing you to upload undetermined for that element.
Which I would believe so, because there's loads listed and loads sold even this month. Which I believe so.
Oh, what the?
Loads listed and loads
Language,
sold.
just kidding.
Oh,
Language, just kidding.
actually,
Somebody needs to pause their stream.
hello.
Hey, if you have your stream rolling in the background, you just got to hit pause on it.
Yeah, I just exited out of that.
All right, cool.
Didn't want a feedback loop. Sorry that took so long. I couldn't get it working correctly.
All right, go ahead. Introduce yourself to the crowd here. I tried to give you a righteous intro before.
I appreciate that. Hi, my name's Conrad. I sell Lego on Bricklink, and I now just expanded to eBay, and hopefully going to be selling other stuff on Amazon soon. And I kind of pride myself on being like a Lego discounter, so I'm trying to beat like Walmart, Target, Toys R Us on pricing, and that's kind of the value proposition I have for my buyers. And I've had like 700 orders over the past 2 years or so that I've really actually been doing this, so it's been expanding. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Yeah. But you also work the corporate deal side quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I do love Shop Your Way, which is the Sears and Kmart rewards program. It's actually kind of ridiculous the deals you can get. Like I first started by just stocking Walmart clearance aisles and seeing what I can get on markdown. But since I discovered Shop Your Way and Jet.com's referral program, I've been getting tons of Lego sets between like 70 to 90% off pretty consistently now. So that's definitely better than just 50% off at Walmart twice a year.
Yeah. All right, we can go back to food for a second. That was good intro. Good intro.
Glad to hear it.
Welcome. All right. So I pretty much finished as he came in there, but essentially you need to look at the variations of the parts and see if it's worth listing, especially when there's an undetermined type like this available. You might get more money or you might get more sales depending on the volume. So you don't want to list it as a wrong part, but if you have the right one and undetermined, that's actually could be an advantage depending on the pricing and if it's actually selling or not. Because I think the issue in this particular case is the undetermined shows the photo for the no groove. And if you actually go to the no groove, there's no photo. So no photo, I don't think anybody's going to buy.
Yeah, and it's always good to upload your own photo as far as that goes.
Right. So what I was going to do is I was actually going to steal this photo and just re-upload it.
Sounds good. I think that's legit because it's already one that's used on Bricklink.
And it's the right one.
Yes.
So I'm going to give it a try in both because I have a small cup full of these and just split it in half. You know, we'll call it 200 each and then just see how it goes.
Yeah.
If one sells out, I'll just move it over.
Bones would like to know what is the biggest clone brick brand there?
Where? Here in Malaysia?
Yeah.
Oh, in Thailand.
In Thailand.
That was by far Lepin.
Okay.
It wasn't even close with the others. I've seen Mega Blocks here too, to my surprise. But yes, Bones, I was in Thailand. I'm now in Malaysia. My Thailand visa ran out, so I had to leave. But I'm in Malaysia and heading towards Singapore. I'll be back stateside on the 5th of March. We have a question for Xfinity too. Did you see that one, Big B?
Yeah. This is a good one. Do you think lots of sellers will leave Bricklink because of the new PayPal like they threatened to, or are they just giving it the big Charlie Big Spuds? I guess, does that mean talking a lot of shit and not actually going to do something? I think the second.
Yep.
I love the banter and the commentary and stuff like that on the Bricklink forum. It's good to have, but it is dominated by very few, and a lot of times it's a lot of talk and not a lot of backing. You know, let's not forget that just moments ago everybody was going to leave Bricklink and go to Brick Owl because of the introduction to Brick Arms. You know, it's a lot of it's for some folks. All it is, it goes down to nails and coffins, so to speak. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of it. I'm so frustrated by it, and that's natural with anything. But currently, it is the #1 marketplace to sell Lego parts for the style that we do. So why would you really be leaving that if you did not have? If outside of hobby sales, this is outside of hobby sales. Why would you be leaving that? It's cutting off your nose to spite your face, you know.
Which I'm fine with. Less competition, please leave. It's fine with me.
So what Xfinity is talking about is there was a mandate that I didn't even see it on Bricklink, so I don't know. I've yet to even see a link that leads to it that says you must do this.
Same.
But you had to migrate your PayPal account over to another type of account by a certain time period because Bricklink was changing its terms, and they were rather general terms. I still haven't seen them, like I said, but I did see photo shots of them. But PayPal wanted to do some things that may or may not be legal in all countries, which means taking their fee out of each transaction before they transfer it to PayPal, have the money be coming to Bricklink before it hits PayPal. Quite a few things that may be outside of their realm and may turn them into a de facto bank by attempting to do so, which would break a number of laws. One of the reasons why PayPal is not allowed to issue a lot of things because they were sued by the big banks for the same type of attempts. Same as eBay was as well. So they have, I believe, rolled back their stance. But what Xfinity 2.1, I believe, is talking about outside of that is the intrusiveness of it, of it was written in their proposal that it would be a direct deposit into your bank account, and it probably should have been reworded to be a deposit into your account. Because why would PayPal even be involved in the transaction if it was going directly to your bank account and Bricklink was depositing it there? I'm trying to get Xfinity 2.1 to come in here. It doesn't need a camera to do it. It just needs a microphone. You can get that off his cell phone, plug it into the jack in the side of the laptop, and it will work properly in order for him to speak without a camera.
That's the first I've heard of this.
Same here. I wonder if it's not affecting us as U.S. sellers. I wonder if it's just
no, there was U.S. sellers that were in the commentary of it, and I don't know if any of them were early adopters of it or not. But the reason why I want to hear about Xfinity's experience with it is because, like I said, the post about him not being able to take orders. And take orders, like I said, is different than take money. You can still get money if an order goes through.
Yeah, I had a PayPal on-site instant checkout transaction yesterday. No problems.
And you got the email saying that you had a sale.
Well, I got the PayPal one, but I'm not getting any Bricklink emails about I've got an order.
Yeah, I get them sporadically. I'd say one for every fourth order that's instant checkout, I get an email that says that I made a sale.
I get none.
Yeah.
Zero.
So for me, I always have a window rolling that's up. That's filtered for just showing me my paid orders, and another one that shows me all my orders, but it refreshes every certain minutes, so it stays current enough.
Yeah, so it wasn't enough time to catch it, but I use this little guy right here, and all my PayPal notifications come up when I get a payment from anybody or anywhere, so I don't have to worry about the emails. So that could be eBay, it could be outside of eBay, it could be BrickOwl, Bricklink. I get all notifications right away. So
it's really odd on those notifications because it's been discussed among a couple of us sellers. I've got a good friend that has a much larger store than I do, and she gets no notifications, whereas I seem to get all of my notifications. And we've talked with other people, and it seems to be a recurring problem with Bricklink. Some people are getting notifications and some people are not.
Yeah, and I honestly think I'm positive Bricklink knows about the problem, and I'm sure they have a solution for it. But I believe the solution is based upon the Bricklink email system. Okay, so that if I were running Bricklink, that's how I would be fixing it. I would be implementing an email system similar to how BrickOwl has it, where you can reply out of your personal email. It goes to a BrickOwl mail server and then kicks out to the recipient so that BrickOwl has a copy of everything. I'm assuming that Bricklink is doing the exact same thing because it's what modern companies do. And the fix is included with that. And that is probably part of the seller tools, which is one of the next big great things that's going to be rolling out with Bricklink. Now, I am here to play devil's advocate in defense of Bricklink. You guys do not have to. This is an open forum for anybody. I have my qualms as well, but somebody's got to play the nice guy.
And I did notice that all my emails about getting new orders stopped as soon as the global cart went in. I'm guessing that broke something.
I've seen a couple of things so far as weird errors. A person offering free shipping, but charging what they thought was for insurance. Discovered that users checking out that wanted additional insurance, they were covering it. So,
speaking of glitches, I mean, I had an interesting one a couple days ago. Big B, I think you might remember that, where you placed an order in my store for a large number of clearance minifigs, and almost every single item that you purchased returned to my inventory in the same quantities right after you ordered it, and you were able to double up and order them again. I have no idea how that happened. I never touched it or did anything with it. They just popped right back into my inventory after I sold them.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is a glitch in the indexing, or not necessarily the indexing, but the database as far as handling the transaction. I don't know why it would have come back in. It definitely wasn't. I definitely wasn't so fast that I like purchased, went back into your store, and was able to add all of those items, because it was like 12 items back into the cart again. There would have been. I mean, I'm not that fast.
This is definitely strange. I've never seen that happen before.
Yeah, that's computer fast to be able to do that. Yeah, that was a little weird. Let's see. I recently had a purchase in my store by somebody who was attempting to place a quote. So they came in with an indeterminate shipping type. So my quotes were going directly to my purchases. Luckily, this cat from Singapore was down with the price and just added more to his cart, which told me that, yes, he was good with it. So, but that's a little sticky situation when your quotes are coming in as orders, because buyers do look at the number of canceled orders that you've had in your store over the past 6 months and place judgment upon that, even though that includes non-paying buyers.
So the Singapore order, did they actually pay too?
No, they haven't paid yet, but I've got faith that they will. You know, there was 2 or 3 email communications with clear intent beforehand. They were quoted $12.50 on shipping for their item. You know, he asked me how much more he could add to the order. I told him you got 10 grams before it goes up to another one. And he added a couple more Chima figs. So,
yeah, I was curious if it came through, because he said he tried to do a quote. I wonder if it forced them for an instant payment, or if it was just kind of half glitched.
I don't know. I have no idea. But I've had some weird shit like that happen as well, where people are attempting. It comes in when I get the indeterminate shipping type. Something went wrong, because I've got domestic first class, domestic priority, domestic priority express, domestic and international hold order open, international first class, international priority. I also have hold open for pen lug meeting, $100 free domestic shipping, $250 free international shipping, and one other one. So I mean, there's options galore for what you want. And some of them are just wide open, just like, yeah, just let them place the order with this. There's absolutely no restrictions, and let it go and send an invoice. So it's very strange that they're coming in with indeterminate. After I had Brick 5 come in and have to go and place an order in Priority Express because of issues, I put a couple brand new ones in there and opened up some old ones that hadn't been modified, that still had the legacy shipping options to allow for just floodgates to open if needed. An issue where a person is not able to check out from your store should be one of the highest priority items for a portal to fix, because not only does it take out of your pocket and frustrate your potential customer, because in their mind it is your fault, and you should take it as such. It also is a problem on the portal because of the percentage that they get. They would like more people to get on their team to help them fix and renovate and turn Bricklink into a modern portal. These items that have to do with transactions, and they just need to be paid better attention to. That's not a trenches type of decision. That's not a developer decision. That's a management decision. That's not even, the management has to press that idea up the ladder, that is a higher priority than other things.
Absolutely.
I think it's great that Bricklink is going to become the de facto Lego everything portal for everything of everythingness. including, their own web app for chatting things up and posting mocks, to being able to do mosaics, to being able to sell your mock on there. But if the pertinent word there being selling isn't fixed, then, everybody's SOL.
Right. If you can't process an order, none of the rest of it matters.
Yeah. And I don't think whoever they have as a payment system is going to even matter if that doesn't get replaced, fixed. All right, let me go to you guys chat for a second while I find
a somewhat related note. I don't know if you guys saw this a while back, but if you're an eBay seller, they sent out a message saying in a year or two they're dropping PayPal.
Right.
I'm wondering how that's going to pan out, considering eBay owns a good chunk of PayPal. I don't think they're going to completely drop it because they'd be cutting their own legs off. They're going to prioritize another payment processor.
I think it's a soft force, and they're probably going to be offering paid incentive via the other company.
Yep.
To do that, All right, weird comments or comments from people.
Looking at those now.
We'd like to get Canadian Brickyard in to discuss their find of interesting sale patterns with friend sets. Would also like to get Mock Magic in here to discuss their interesting way to get shopping carts into Brickstock. Unfortunately, they do say that you have to go through Excel, and it does not include quantity or price. So,
all right.
That kind of sucks. But it's easier than putting the items in there and price checking them all yourself. Brick Buildmeister wants to know if I've ever thought about just putting my Lego shame pile, my individual bad purchases, up for eBay auction.
One thing I wanted to put out there, I hope Bricklink adds, which is a minor thing, but it'd be nice to have, is show us what the PayPal fee is on the order. Brickout does that already.
Yeah.
That would be helpful.
This helps my accounting, because I'm actually updating my spreadsheet right now with an order just came in.
Well, they have it. There's a section where you can get that. It's just not with each order. It has the order number identified with it, but
right, and it's just something they already have the data; they just need to display it.
No, they already do display it.
Really? I haven't seen it.
Go over to your fees, and there should be a rolling tally on your fees of what each transaction costs.
Those are Bricklink fees, though, not PayPal.
I was talking about the PayPal fees.
Oh, the PayPal fees. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, those I know. Yeah, of course. That's 3%. That's easy to calculate. The PayPal ones are always weird. But, I don't know, it's one of those it'd be nice if things that we can bring up to them. Essentially, we're going to get Bricklink on here and be like, you see what Brickout does? Just copy all that.
I've said that so many times. Sure that Lawrence does want to hear that.
Yeah,
okay, here's some weird ones. From a new user. Hi, excuse me. Can I send you a list of parts and can you supply it to me? Note, there are about 600 pieces of different types and colors. That's a I don't want to learn Bricklink email.
Yep.
I then got a let me yell at you because I'm frustrated email, unfortunately, from a mom who had placed 250 lots in my store and could not check out because there was a 0.2 like 2 something. It was like 25 cents per lot average. And I just said, take the really common stuff out of there, get rid of the onesie twosie nothing stuff, and then she came back with, it takes a lot of time, and I said, I understand that, I'm trying to help, and then she went off on me about how her son's birthday is next week, and something else, and something else, and something else. And I just, I knew that they weren't looking for help, but they were looking for something to yell at, so I didn't reply back. Brick 5 got the exact same email about 600 pieces. Let me give you a very vague question. Would you please do this for me? I had the Bricklink store that sent me these and told me that they were new.
Oops.
And I said, well, why are there stickers on them? And then she said, let me ask my son. He was helping me part it out. Then she came back that her son just put them on there because.
That's a great reason.
Said, well, why would he just put them on there because? And she said, I don't know, because he's a kid. And I said, well, why would he put them on there very well, expertly actually, in the exact same places that you're supposed to, per the directions? Were you building this set? Because that's the set that those stickers were from. She came back and assured me that they were new and had never been built. Then I pointed out that some of the other parts that I got as well were from that set, or seemed to have been, and were they built as well and sold as new when they should have just been sold as used. And it's a seller that has never bought on Bricklink. It's just and I'm assuming that it's just a family that buys sets and then sells them once the kids get sick of them in their store. But I essentially had to I had to eat it, you know.
You can report them.
No. It's a family. I mean, obviously it's a family. I'm not going to go and be.
Families are exempt from the rules.
If it were a giant store that was like, you know, defrauding people left and right, it'd be a different thing. You know, if it were the guy in China that was selling, you know, red Lego minifigure heads with his own custom printing on them and printed in the wrong order of Deadpool, I said something.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry,
fine.
guys. It's been a pleasure talking with you. Thanks for inviting me to the stream, Big.
Yeah, I want to get you on
I have to go,
later on another week if you're willing, and actually talk about Kmart, man.
Sounds good. That's my specialty.
Well, you are the Kmart preacher on the little seller group we had, so
I will keep with that title. Thanks
right.
very much for having me. Have a great day.
All right, later.
Bye.
I'd also like to have PCB on at some point to talk about how they got Lepin in their Bricklink order.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that story.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
I'm curious, was it all Lepin or just some?
Well, I guess it was. I just saw 4 1x4 tan bricks, and that was it. I don't know if they were mixing with a larger stash or what.
I'm guessing it was a bulk bin.
I don't know.
I bet it was.
But I know PCB does buy some used stuff, so I knew. I placed an order this week, and it took a while for the seller to send me an invoice. He said that he hadn't received the order notification. You can no longer, if you have automated checkout, any seller, they can no longer go with the, I didn't get an email. You know, you got to step it up. Bricklink is not working properly as far as that goes. You know that. It's either pay attention or close your store, you know, or change your terms that you will contact them within 3 days. Don't have on there, I'll contact you and invoice you within hours if you're waiting on that email.
Yep, that's true. And either run it like a business or close it.
Yeah, Kittville saying that they had a problem with other platforms and then switched to email server to Roundcube and seem to be getting them all now. I should not have a problem with Gmail. There should, you know.
Yeah, I use Gmail too, and I get.
Plus my algorithm shows that I'm already getting emails from Bricklink, so it knows that name.
Yep. And of course, Brick Owls all come in like they should, and I haven't had any problems until Bricklink made changes, which I'm still saying is tied to Global Checkout or Global Cart, excuse me. Yeah. So I got a question for you, Coldwater, since you're hanging out in the background there. You said you have around 160,000 parts, right?
Yes.
And how many orders do you typically get in a week?
Well, I'd say on Bricklink about probably about 12 to 15, and on Brick Owl Probably maybe a couple less than that.
That's good.
About 10.
So you're pulling a lot of orders.
Yeah, there's periods of time where Bricklink gets, or excuse me, Brick Owl gets real busy, and Bricklink gets real quiet, and then vice versa. It's real streaky.
Same thing.
Like,
there's always a pop on the weekends.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I was just getting ready to say weekends is just I get hit hard.
That's a good thing, though. You can't complain about that.
No.
You can't complain about it, and it shouldn't be. You should clarify that. Clarify that to the people on the internet. If you're going to be on the show all the time, you got to clarify that. Don't complain that you're getting orders.
Oh, no. Never.
That's the worst thing you can do.
No, never.
This is the happy face. I'm dying here. I'm loving it.
So one thing I would like to ask you guys is I've never taken Stripe before, and I just started taking Stripe this weekend, and I was told that my orders would really go up with taking Stripe. Do you guys take it? Do you accept Stripe as a payment method?
I accept Stripe, and I haven't seen any change whatsoever. In fact, it actually hurt me a little bit, because one of my regular, very large buyers changed from using PayPal to Stripe. So instead of me taking in that money on PayPal where I could immediately reinvest it, I was not able to. So it actually hurt me a little bit by having that. Didn't really hurt me. I mean, it made my customer happy. So it makes me happy when it makes my customer happy. But I wasn't able to use the money as the way I like to use it, I should say.
Yes, I understand.
And there's also stipulations and rules you should understand from your own bank when you have Stripe. Stripe deposits directly into your bank account. And if your bank limits the number of deposits that you can have per month, you have to make sure that you time that correctly with Stripe, and then personally as well. So if you're making deposits once a week, or once every 2 weeks, or once a month on Stripe, you got to count that against your total. So for me, like BOA, I think it's like 6 per month deposits I can make electronically, those type of transfers. So if I was making one through PayPal once a week, I wouldn't be able to do one through Stripe once a week, or because I'd be getting a fee from Bank of America because of that. So yeah, what I mean, like, it could end up hurting you if you don't think it through. You could hurt yourself. So
okay,
wow,
I
6
understand.
deposits, that's low.
What's that?
6 deposits, that's low.
Yes.
I have unlimited. The way I get around the issue of you mentioned the money tied up is this.
Okay, the Stripe American Express card.
Oh no, so American Express card. I don't need the money right now.
Okay, yeah, okay, because you have unlimited and you just got to pay it off at the end of the month. That'd be a good idea. I should probably think about those.
And that one actually says Fubrix on it. That's my Fubrix American Express card.
Yeah.
and of course you earn a few points or cash.
Asia without it.
Yeah, and you earn points and cash back with it. So you get a little extra for your troubles.
All right. So I'll put it on my list of things to do with my big boy grown up pants wearing store.
Yep.
Love frequent flyer miles.
It's going to have to come after me putting up a whiteboard. So
a whiteboard. Oh, you're getting fancy now.
I'm going to have to, dude. I've got a spot for it, and I want to put it up because I do have a lot of random thoughts, and I want to be able to jot them down because sometimes they're really, really good ones. And sometimes they're just crap, and I want to be able to get rid of them quickly before somebody else sees them. Let's see. I hope the Deutsche Mark comes back. I would like to see another strong European form of money. I will never take Bitcoin. I don't have a problem with Bitcoin. I just don't. I don't know. I don't understand it.
If someone wants to pay me in Bitcoin, I'll take it. And
Yeah.
actually, Brick Owl allows payment with Bitcoin,
I know.
but it's flawed. There's no way for them to tell if they actually paid. So I'd happily take it. You want to pay me 1 Bitcoin instead of $1? Please do.
Yeah.
Look up the price and you'll see why I said that.
Brick or Pumpkin says, in what 2018 sets do you think will go up in value and best investment wise? A good place to check for that is Brick Picker.
Yeah.
You know, they really do a lot of analysis on that, and I'm not going to. PCB says they were 75 tan 1x4s, and they got 4 of them were Leppin. That sucks. I also would like to get Vibe on in the future if they're willing. And I know that everyone would want to see a Vibe factory, store, warehouse tour if we can talk them into it. Everybody wants to see that on here. Lots of orders are a good problem to have. Exactly. But that's also why you should never complain about it.
I never complain about orders. Only complain about big part out queues, like my shame pile.
Yeah. So I actually dug in deep on this thing this past week. The boy was just down here sorting it out for me. So when he gets done sorting, he's like, I gotta get away from my sister. Or anything I can do? Like, yeah, of course. Sort. Then I asked him if it was relaxing. But yes. So
That's good.
yes. And I didn't
Free
know
labor.
I was just like, here you go, man. Here's a bunch of stuff in one box. Just you know how to sort it. Go.
Free labor for now.
Ooh, okay. Did you know that wow, they pay Euro 35 for their PayPal fees over
And 5%.
instead of 30 cents.
That doesn't surprise me.
That sucks. That's like 43 cents, 42 cents.
It's probably because the fees in general are higher in Europe. And yeah, I've noticed that because I'm here in Malaysia, if I go to paypal.com, they advertise 4.4% as what they take.
That's cray. But
again, they're doing a lot less volume over here. And they also probably have, again, higher banking fees on the other end that they have to pay for. So it probably works out the same in the end for them.
okay, Brick Daddy's in Slovakia. All right, cool.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Brick Daddy, what's your store?
Scared to ask.
Well, no. There's a couple stores in Slovakia that I've looked at before. I told you before, man. Like I always go, I look to see where Lego has been produced over time, and it's not always the same places and same factories. So if you can follow where the bricks were made, you can follow where the extras go. If it makes sense, and then you can have a little bit more trust in the parts of why they have these parts here. You know, Toy Story sets made in Poland. That's why I went there and got 5,000 octopus legs. That's where they were made.
They fell off the back of the truck.
No, it's just they have a production run, and say that they don't have it. Say that when that happened back then, it wasn't as computerized as well as far as efficiency, and they ran it for 15 minutes, and they should have run it for 12 and a half. Now I have 2.5 additional production minutes of elements that have to go somewhere. Oh, Brick Daddy's Canadian. Jesus, man, why are you putting stuff? I am not following here. If anybody can understand Brick Daddy's conversation, what he's talking about with quoting Euro PayPal fees but living in Canada, let me know. I missed that part of it.
Well, he said he's a buyer. He probably saw it in the store terms.
Okay. So it's the Brick Daddy I know. Okay. I thought it was another Brick Daddy.
I'm sure there's several out there.
No, I'm sure there are.
So speaking of, you're going to be at Philly Brick Fest, right, Big B?
Yes.
And how about you, Coldwater? Are you coming up?
I doubt it. I thought about it, but I doubt if I'll make it.
I'm definitely going. I actually just booked my travel to get there while I'm here. I'm famous for booking one trip while being on another. But yeah, I'll be there. I'll be at Philly Brick Fest for those out there that will be there. Bot in the chat there, are you coming up? You did last year. And
I hope so. I got a lot of Lego coming from Bot. Gotta figure out how to get it from him.
well, that's one way if he drives it.
Yeah, I'm bringing the truck, but I'm hoping to fill the bed of the truck with other stuff too.
The yard sale. I got some secret goodies for the yard sale I'll tell you guys about later.
Nice. Xfinity 21 says, the biggest thing I learned selling on Bricklink is don't discuss it with the wife or friends. They don't care. I have a reseller mate to talk Lego to. Exactly.
That's true. You should come up, Bot, for Philly.
Bot may do a door-to-door delivery to the warehouse, or otherwise known as my basement.
The cave.
It's a little cave-ish. So I was able to part out the 157 ideas sets this week. Or not ideas. I don't even know what that line is called. It's creator.
The little tiny brick boxes?
Yeah, the little tiny brick boxes. I don't know what they're calling it now.
I'm just calling it the 60 years of brick line.
60 years of brick line.
Because they all have the tile.
Yeah. I was pretty happy that first bag went like that. 3-4 hours, first bag into the store, very happy. And that second bag with tiny parts just killed me. So.
Always do.
Oh yeah. It's
nothing like a gallon jug of studs, the sort.
No, it wasn't. I mean, I had orange studs in there, but spring's coming, orange blossoms, orange trees. I never really complain about stuff that can be used for vegetation because that's like having a million armyable things. Like, why are you gonna have to worry about that? You have no complaints. And very few parts that had little potential in my eyes.
And as you and Doc said, part out your least favorite ones first.
Yeah.
And that actually worked for me. The brick boxes, of course, I'm halfway done and I've stopped, but I've sold all the blues and oranges.
Nice.
Already.
We just entered into the red brick. So we're going to be, I'm back to doing last year's brick boxes. I've got the red ones going next. And this week I'll put in the 60 copies of Doctor Strange, as well as picking a new. I've actually already got a box picked out from the shame pile. I reached deep under the stairs and grabbed a nice big fat thick box that I think is a very high lot count as well. So a lot count.
Lots of lots.
Lots of lots in that one. But I think it's better bagged, if I remember correctly from this seller. Back then I was trying to support a lot of fellow sellers that were just like dads with some kids that were just, they were trying to teach their sons or daughters how to run a business and stuff like that. I'm a huge supporter in that because I do that as well. So I bought a lot from their stores, but never put it away.
So I got a question for you, Coldwater. Us sellers have been discussing a 250K part challenge for our stores. Would you be interested in joining in?
What is that now?
Parting out and getting to 250,000 parts in our stores.
All right. So years ago, Doc and I and Bricks for Chris and a couple other stores had a 250K challenge. And we drummed it up on Instagram, really pushed it and had a lot of fun with it. And it's something that helped us push through the holidays with adding more parts to our store than it began with, where normally during the holidays, there's a drought of stuff going in because you're so busy taking out. But we had a lot of fun with it. And we learned as we went along that the more we put in, the more had to come out. So, we were creating more work for ourselves, but it was a lot of fun, built a lot of camaraderie, and the YouTube community really enjoyed it and got behind it, I think. And then we pushed even further on from that and had the 500K challenge and then the 1 million brick challenge. So what these guys were in our little Instagram DM chat group thingy, and they were, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. ABC was talking about it. He's in on it as well. So I'm here to sort of drum up the drama on it. There's gonna okay. So Fu, it's you, ABC Builds, and who else?
Is Mevit still interested?
Mevit's Bricks, Coldwater. If you're interested in it as well, throw you in there. But you can't be name only. That was one of the problems before. Is we had 1 or 2 people that were name only. They just were in it. They weren't really pushing. They were in it to get for whatever reasons, but weren't going for a $250,000 or a $500,000 or $1 million. They were just going about it. This is something where you actively have to be trying to do it. Pushing each other to meet a mutual goal, essentially. But the fun part about it is the internet gets to play along. So say Doc and I got to the hashtag team. So it was Team Stackers, Team Big B. There was also Team Bricks for Chris and Team Clutch when we had the 1 million and the $500,000. So the internet can play along and make purchases from your opponent's store in order to hinder them. You follow? And there was people doing that.
That's something I'll have to give some thought to, because I work by myself. I don't have any children to help me or anything. I don't know if
me too.
I don't know. I don't know if I can provide the manpower to work
that's the thing.
A store that big.
Yeah, think it over. Think about it. It's definitely it's a personal commitment. But if you're sitting on a shame pile,
yep,
there's nothing better than a good, friendly, your friends essentially helping you and cheering you on.
I definitely have the bricks to get there. It's just putting them up for sale, getting them parted out and getting them up for sale, and having them available. I don't know. That's something I'll have to think about.
All right. Right now, these guys hopefully will watch the show if they're not on it right now, and we'll go and start using hashtag 250K challenge. I'll type it in the public chat right now. You guys will be able to follow that. I'm using the same one as we had before when the other group of us were doing it, because we owned it. And owning a hashtag is something that's nice. I've tried that before. Okay, so Pat Cam Bricks says, I put my shame pile in the middle of my store. Getting it done and having to trip over it is my current motivation. And that's good. That's a good way to self-motivate yourself as well. But it's also a good way to hospitalize yourself when you fall over and impale yourself with a Technic lift arm. So, Kitten Philbrick says his wife loves to part out. I can report that my wife does not like to part out. She absolutely loathes it. But she's a wonderful helper, and I owe her all my success.
Yep, Kittenville wants to join the challenge. He's halfway there. We're actually surprisingly all around the same level.
Yeah. This is good timing for it. That's why when you guys were naming off your numbers, I threw that out there like, hey, we should do this.
I'm definitely going to do it because 250K happens to be the point where you have to pay for BrickSync. I didn't pick it because it was that. I just picked it because it's a nice round number.
Yeah.
But I plan on paying for it anyway, so it doesn't bother me. And I want to keep going, 500K and beyond.
Right on, right on. So you're throwing the glove down to everybody. that you're ready to evolve on it. I'm not going into any K challenges whatsoever. I'm happy where I am. I'm happy. No, 1.1 to 1.2 is a good range for me. I don't need to grow larger. I need to get my lot count back up to where it was. You just had put on there, add 1,000 parts to the store, sell 1,200 parts. My problem is add 100 new lots to the store, sell 150 old lots, or the new lots. So it's a good problem to have, but it's also a bad problem to have.
It's like trying to keep train track in stock.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Unless it's old, 4.5 old.
Oh, yeah. Then you'll
Nobody
be
wants
swimming in
until
it.
they realize the potential.
Quote unquote potential.
All right. Was there anything I missed?
Doesn't look like. I think we're pretty much at time now.
We're at time, but I just want to make sure I covered everything. I'm sure I forgot half a dozen things.
I'll cover most everything.
Do you want to put any rules out there and state them beforehand? Any of the rules that you guys came up with for the challenge, so that the audience understands what's behind it? Like, going and getting pick-a-brick is allowed.
Yeah.
But what about other? What if you went to Legoland and bought 200,000 elements at Legoland? Would that be allowed?
That's cheating. I mean, no one's going to stop you from doing it, but
But you're not gonna. What I'm saying is, you're not gonna count those towards your total, because you see that's just a cheat. Okay.
I mean,
good.
I'd say
good. It's good to set ground rules.
I say one cup is a limit.
What happens if you come across light bluish gray, 2x2 tile? What happens if you come across black 1x1 tile?
Then I'm buying everything I can find.
One cup?
I mean, for counting it for the challenge.
All right. Okay.
I mean, yeah, of course, buy whatever you're going to buy, but
Yes.
I would
So
say
if you find black 1x1 tiles on a pick-a-brick wall,
I'm not telling anybody I'm buying them all.
yeah, and ask for the box.
Yeah.
Find out
How
when
many
their
boxes do you
delivery door day is and when the truck usually comes in. Puddle questions, not stalker questions.
Because I mean, I could get the 250K off of one case right now, if you got the right part.
Yeah, you went and got trans red 1x1 tile.
Studs too.
Yeah.
But no, it should be from sets and maybe a pick-a-brick cup or two, but don't cheat. Do it the right way, which is get variety. That's my opinion anyway. We'll see what the guys on chat say.
All right. If anybody else is interested in joining in the 250K challenge, just contact Mr. Foo here at foobricks at gmail.com. Let them know that you're interested in it. We will add you to the group. We might be able to talk somebody. If there's somebody who's gung-ho in the crowd that wants to track it, more power to you. But tracker, you have no rights.
No horse in the race.
Right, yeah, you have no horse in the race. That was one of the problems we had last time is.
Maybe you should do it, Big B. Let's create a public spreadsheet on Google Sheets and update it.
I got stuff to do.
You can be the rest.
That's somebody who has time.
That's true. Kittenville, there is no time frame on the part out challenge yet. It's just as quickly as you can buy and part out things.
Yeah, it's a self motivation.
It's not a race. It's more of a motivation to get there. The first person to do it doesn't get anything special. Let me put it that way.
You get bragging rights. That's it. But you're still pressing, and then you're sitting and waiting for the rest of the guys and gals to come over the line so you can start the 500K. That's the thing. Like you finishing together is the best, but that came across weird.
Yeah, as Big B said, if anybody wants to join, you can email me foobricks@gmail.com. Send me your Instagram name and your Bricklink store name.
Yeah.
And we'll get you added to the list. I'll create a spreadsheet to start with, and I'll hand it off to somebody else, whoever wants to officiate later.
Yeah. And we just had a volunteer. Xfinity 2-1 is going to figure out how to come on the show, and each week he is going to be our UK correspondent, and he is going to monitor each store's inventory and display them in a snapshot each week. So we thank Xfinity 2-1 for coming on and volunteering himself like that. I've been trying to get him to come on for a while, and he knows the rules of the show, that when you open your mouth and suggest something, you're really saying that, I'll do it. So thank you very much, sir. Get with me, dude. I'll help you. I'll walk you through it. I'll make it harmless.
I've covered this before, but Jose's asking, how am I running a Bricklink store while traveling? It's like, well, I have a little bit of help at home. Yep. I have a girlfriend who's running the store right now.
Yeah.
So she pulls orders, and she actually does help part out from time to time, but mostly pull orders.
All right. Next week, I will get back with Bricklink. I will remind them that they have said that they're going to be on the show. Like I said to the guys beforehand, I didn't press this week because they had a major rollout with some malfunctioning, and I would much rather them do what they need to do than placate us. So I'm going to re-engage on Tuesday and see if I can get them to commit. And when do so, I will be updating the title to let all you guys know about it, and maybe even making a little video to say, hey, it's actually going to happen. Yeah, I do live for throwing people under the bus. As long as they take it the right way, and Xfinity seems to be the type of cat that will do that. You know, if he wasn't the type of cat that would do that, he wouldn't have helped me out with my personal polybag collection and all that stuff. So, all right. That is it. That's all. We got Fubricks at fubricks.com.
Howdy, huh?
Cold Water Bricks. Do you have a web address?
Coldwaterbricks.com.
Yes, all right. Man who knows already. Good, good, solid. And Sports City Bricks still has lots of tire trucks from the past. That's why they don't come on my other shows anymore, by the way, I'm assuming. All right. We will see you next week. Like I said, I will be trying to get Bricklink in. I will be playing their defender, as well as always. You guys feel free to speak your mind. If there's anything that happens in your Lego selling world, shoot me a message. Let me know about it. Get your questions ready. Get your comments ready. Don't forget to support the software developers that make the tools that allow us to do our jobs. So go out. If you have not purchased Brick Stock, you should do it. If you are syncing your platforms across for Bricklink and Brick Owl, you should have already purchased BrickSync. It's well worth it. Give these folks your support and your respect. They put peanut butter on your bread, put it back on theirs. And finally, if anybody on the show has given you any sort of advice of any kind whatsoever, and you feel as though, hey, this is going to help me, go say thanks to them, make a purchase in their store. Let them know you saw the show and say, hey, I really liked what you said about this. It helped me out. Because you know what? That's the way that you reciprocate. Nobody gets anything from YouTube videos. And I'm a firm believer in it. You know, when I was coming up, I made lots and lots of purchases over in Brickstackers and over in Bricks of the Dollar and a number of other stores because I gained knowledge from them. And ultimately, I was going to make money off of the advice that they had given me, which may have taken out of their pocket. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, I said thanks. Long-winded, but truthful. Anything else, guys?
Nope, I'll just mention it as I put it in the chat too. We still have a coupon code, #SellerStream, 10% off any of our Brick Owl stores.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
All right. You willing to come back again sometime?
Love it.
All right.
Love
Excellent.
to.
Thanks, Coldwater.
That's it. That's all. I'm Big V Brick. Thanks for joining the Seller Stream.